British people, I hate you for the most part. Sorry, I'm an American. I just wanted to say that while he was saying what he thinks about British people. Okay, if you're a British patriot, I especially hate you because like I already hate the UK. You know, I do. I really do. I strongly dislike the UK. Okay, hate is a that's an extreme word. Okay, but I very strongly dislike the UK. And anyway, what that means is that a UK nationalist, that's a person, or a British nationalist, that's a person that loves the UK. Okay, so I hate that person even more. Okay, I hate him even more than the American nationalist because they're getting racist with it, but they're getting racist with it for Bing Bong Land. Okay, that's what they're getting like. At least the racist over here are getting racist. They're getting all racist with it for America. You know, America's cool. I like America. Okay, not to say that the racism here is good. Okay, obviously not. I hate British people. Okay, that's
I
it.
feel for
That's
you.
all I
I'm
got.
on your side.
I don't
And it's
like
not only
British
just these
people.
online posts. They have more laws. I looked this up. They have the Public Order Act of
Hey,
2023.
cheers
which
to the
basically
Polish.
just lets cops stop
I'm drinking
any protest
Polish
or
vodka.
causing a minor disturbance, is what they call it.
Hey, what up, everybody? Hey, my bad. My bad. I got a little too quirked up with it there. All right. Anyway, today, I have a few things planned. We're probably gonna play some Minecraft. I still haven't made that gold farm. My game keeps crashing in the Nether. Might not be able to do that. That's highly unfortunate. I really need that gold. Okay, I've got a few build ideas that I need gold blocks for. It just, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm also thinking about starting a new Baldur run. Because, the way that we died yesterday was just, it was so stupid. It was so fucking dumb. Okay. Well, anyway, sorry, I was reading something. Moving on to Jimmy Talks.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Jimmy Talks. So, I am an American, and I'm an American nationalist. That's what this channel is all about. But today, I'm actually going to talk about the UK. Because the UK government has lost its damn mind. They have pushed through this online safety act.
Okay, why? Why'd they do that? And also, I mean, I assume we're going to talk about that, but, like, how is this going to affect our country? Okay, I know Slippery Slope, like, will mimic them, but, like, we're already doing that. We're already doing censorship. I don't know, I don't really see any point in talking about this shit, okay? It's fucking British people.
Safety Act,
okay.
And this is just a full-blown surveillance nightmare. This law lets them snoop through every single private message that you send online. That is so insane to me as an American. It's insane for anybody, but...
No, it's not that insane as an American. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Do you know who Edward Snowden is? I know you know who Edward Snowden is, okay? No, this shit is not insane. They've been doing this since the Patriot Act.
But especially as
maybe
an American
even
with our rights to free speech and all that. I don't know if the UK
Mass
has
surveillance.
something like that, but this is insane. Think about this for a second. Your text, your DMs, Telegram, Signal, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, anything. They have to now all scan for what they call, like the UK government calls, illegal content. Now, this is stuff like child exploitation and terrorist stuff, which is good, obviously, but this is assuming that the government's good and that they're honest and they're benevolent. But they're not. But they use this as the framing for this act that they're pushing through. So they're just going to use this in a vague sort of manner because they want to get stuff they want to get people for stuff that's like psychological harm or serious distress. But what does that mean? You know, Ofcom, which is the people who are supposed to be overlooking this, basically, they demand that all these companies start doing risk assessments by April of 2026. They want highly effective age assurance on every site, which means collecting your data to verify if you're over 18 years old. If you fail to comply, then you basically just get raped with fines. It doesn't matter if you're huge, like Facebook and Instagram, like Meta, or if you're just a small website. People will go to jail for this, and they will completely block your website in the UK. And again, they swear it's all about protecting kids from exploitation and stopping terrorism, which on its face it's good. But anyone with a brain will see what's actually happening here. This is just political persecution on steroids, and it's aimed squarely at right-wingers and at patriots and anyone who dares to speak the truth about the invasion. The UK has a long history of doing this kind of stuff anyway, so it's not far-fetched to even come to this conclusion. If you remember these grooming gangs, kind of hard to not remember that, but there's thousands of British girls that were raped by these. Let's just be honest here, it is...
No, that is a lie. And it is one that the Tories in the UK have been saying for years. And it's funny, okay, although it is a disgusting lie, okay, but it's funny because the actual grooming gangs are the Tories themselves. For those of you that don't know, the Tories are like they're like the Republicans of the UK, okay? They're like different, okay? But they are the Conservative Party. And they literally do child grooming together. Okay, they do this. This is real. This actually happened in the UK. So, no, there are no grooming gangs, and, you know, I think that misinformation should be blocked. Okay, so, like, when information like brown people are doing grooming gangs, when that information is presented by a trusted source, right, a media organization, that should not be allowed. That shouldn't be allowed. As far as, like, right-wing weirdo crackpots on Facebook, yeah, I mean, whatever. Whatever, sure. They can say it. Just as long as media organizations aren't spreading lies like that, I don't have a problem with it. I don't think the government has to step in. That being said, what he's talking about here, what he is positing is going on, is not happening. Okay, it's not. You can be racist in the UK. You are allowed to be racist. Okay. You can get away with it. If you get too racist with it out in public, will you get arrested? Yes. Yes, that is definitely possible. Okay, in the UK, they don't have freedom of speech. Okay, I don't agree with it, but they don't. So you can get arrested for stuff like that. But the main thing that this is going to be used for is just like here in America with Palantir, they are going to censor anti-Israel sentiment. That is the main thing. That is the main prerogative. Okay, as it is in any Western nation. Okay, the Zionists have control over our legislators, over our representatives. They are censoring us when it comes to Israel. That's it.
Is Muslim grooming gangs, and it is covered up by the cops. They don't really do anything about it, and it's covered up by these politicians. They don't do anything about it because they're scared of being called racist. Now, if you say a word against mass migration, you are the terrorist, actually, because that is actually considered terrorism in the UK. If you post about reversing it and demanding deportations and remigration, or calling out the welfare siphoning that they all do,
that's because in the UK they recognize what remigration is. Okay, remigration, for those of you that don't know, and if you've been watching the Ja3Starr broadcast for more than a few days, you should know this, but remigration is just another way of saying deportation. And the reason that these American young right-wing men are saying remigration now is because they're reading the room. They are realizing that deportation is not such a friendly word anymore. Okay, because people are seeing what ICE is doing, and they're seeing the concentration camps, and they are remembering the child cages under Obama, and they are not liking deportations very much. Okay, so we're all about remigration now. That's what we're all about. But in Europe, the word deportation has been a faux pas for a long time because of the Holocaust. Because of the Nazis. The Nazis did deportations. And by deportations, I mean sending people to concentration camps, of course. So, this word, it's not that it was, like, banned, deportation. It's just, at least I don't think so, anyway. But it is a word that people don't like. And so, European right-wingers started using remigration much longer ago, okay? And some of these countries have had time to catch up. Okay, like in our country, these guys have kind of just started using the word remigration. Okay, you saw a little bit of it being used like 10 years ago, but now it's just everywhere. It's fucking everywhere. So like we haven't sniffed that out yet, or at least I think a vast majority of Americans haven't, which is why I keep saying it, which is why I keep screaming about it. Remigration is deportation. Remigration is deportation. I'm going to say it over and over again. That's what it is. And they'll tell you that that's what it is too, but then I ask, well, why are you suddenly using the word remigration? Yeah, I wonder. It's a real head scratcher. If they mean the same thing, why not keep using deportation? I wonder. But anyway, all that is to say, in the UK, I believe they do censor the word remigration. They do that with regularity. I don't think you'll be arrested for not for that. Okay, not for that kind of racism. Like I said, you can get arrested for racism in Europe, in most parts of Europe, including the UK. But that's just not one of them. You can also be arrested for being an anti-Zionist. Okay, for being against Zionism. Because that is anti-Semitic. That is anti-Semitic.
And all
That's
these
what that
things,
is.
That is hate speech or extremism, and that is considered terrorism. In the UK, they've already got something in the UK called Prevent, and this is their so-called de-radicalization program, which labels opposition to the Great Replacement.
Yeah, that shit's awesome. Okay, it's fake, but it would be awesome if it were real. Okay, I'm all for re-education. Okay, ethical re-education. Especially with these right-wing dipshits, what else can you do? What else can you do? Because all you can do is try to re-educate them, or wait for the ticking time bomb to explode. That's it. So, I support this in theory, right? I support re-education camps, but it's very easy to do it, unethically, not so ethically. And I'm not for that. Okay, I don't actually want to like strap you down and Clockwork Orange you. Okay, I know I've made that joke a few times, but it's just a joke. It's just
not a theory, as a national security threat. Not the actual rape gangs. The people calling it out are the national security threat. Yeah, that's insane. Let's take another example here. There was riots in Southport.
The people that are making up racist lies about swaths of people are being punished for it. And that's anti-white racism,
now,
bro.
I'm an American
and that's what that
so
is.
I had to read a little bit about this, but
that's anti-whiteism.
Insane. So I read about this, and a migrant stabbed little girls to death. And patriots like myself, except the British version, were obviously pissed off about this. But the government's response to, not this criminal, but the people mad about it, were to round them up for misinformation and put them in jail. People are going to jail for posting TikToks. People are going to jail for Facebook posts that are talking about the migrant crime waves, which is just a true statistic. And every British person knows about it. It's just a reality. They're all on the same page here. They know what's going on. And also, these boomer uncles or something that post on Facebook, they're relatively harmless people. They're going to jail for posting a meme about migrants or something. A meme! It's supposed to be a joke, but you will have these female officers who are like 5'2" and 100 pounds, and another one being a foreigner, showing up to your door and demanding that you stopped. It was literally a meme. It took some time to just post their picture with nothing else.
How do you know she's a foreigner? How do you know that? Because she's brown? Because she's wearing a hijab? That woman could easily be a citizen. Not just a citizen, but like born in the UK, born and raised in the UK. Like, this is the kind of racism we're dealing with. Okay, we're at this point. The racism is getting stupider. That's what I mean. Everything is getting stupider, and everyone is getting stupider in America. But like, this is where we're at right now. Okay, it's getting dumb. It's getting dumber and dumber. What else is there to say? Anyway, let's run that back real quick. Hold on. You said something else.
Female officers who are like 5'2" and 100 pounds. These boomer uncles or something that post on Facebook, they're relatively harmless people. They're going to jail for posting a meme about migrants or something. A meme. It's supposed to be.
It's happening. It's happening.
You have these female officers who are like 5'2" and 100 pounds, and another one being a foreigner, showing up to your door and demanding that you stop.
Where is? Can you show me the people who were arrested and the memes that they posted? Can I see? Like, show me some evidence of this. Because I don't think this is happening, man. I don't think people are getting arrested over silly jokes. Okay, I think people are getting arrested over abhorrent racism. That's what I think is mostly happening. Okay, do people go to jail that don't deserve it? Yeah, of course. Of course, it happens all the time. I don't think that people are getting arrested like you are charged on grounds of meme posting. Okay, funny meme posting.
It was literally a meme
I don't
quite
think
some time
so.
to just post their picture with nothing else because they're dragging grannies away for offensive Facebook posts or something like that. Meanwhile, the actual rapists from Somalia or Afghanistan walk free because of what they call cultural sensitivities. British patriots, man, I feel for you. I'm talking to you, British patriots, and even the Australian ones, and any Western country in the Anglosphere.
British people, I hate you. For the most part, sorry, I'm an American. I just wanted to say that while he was saying what he thinks about British people. Okay, if you're a British patriot, I especially hate you because I already hate the UK. You know, I do. I really do. I strongly dislike the UK. Okay, hate is that's an extreme word. Okay, but I very strongly dislike the UK. And anyway, what that means is that a UK nationalist, that's a person, or a British nationalist, that's a person that loves the UK. Okay, so I hate that person even more. Okay, I hate him even more than the American nationalist, because they're getting racist with it, but they're getting racist with it for Bing Bong land. Okay, that's what they're getting like. At least the racist over here are getting racist. They're getting all racist with it for America. You know, America's cool. I like America. Okay, not to say that the racism here is good. Okay, obviously no. I hate British people. Okay, that's it. That's all I got.
I'm on your side.
I don't
it's
like
not only
British
just
people.
these online posts. They have more laws. I looked this up. They have the Public Order Act of 2023.
Hey, cheers to the
basically
Polish.
just lets cops stop
I'm drinking
any protests
Polish
or
vodka.
causing a minor disturbance is what they call it. But they will let pro-Palestine marches run wild. But if you have a native rights rally, it's bringing out the batons and tasers and all the tear gas and beating the shit out of people. Ja3Starr is a joke and he is a tyrant. I want to know in the UK, all these facial recognition systems that they got going on, do they use it on all the leftist agitators and these free Palestine movements?
Wait, yeah, what? What? Yes, pro-Palestine rallies are heavily suppressed in the UK, and they have strength in numbers. Okay, they do. There are tons of anti-Zionist in Bing Bong land, and a shout out to them. Okay, even though I don't like the UK, all right, you're still my ally. Of course. If you're a leftist, no matter where you are, you're my ally. Even Bing Bong land. Okay, but anyway. That being said, yeah, people are brutalized at these protests by police. People are arrested for being anti-Semitic when they're actually just anti-Zionist. So yeah, that's it.
No, probably not. They
That
just use
does
it
it.
on all the people who are
Probably
against
not. Yeah.
the replacement stuff. Because
Yeah, no, they're just doing it to the racist people. You're so right, bro. Bro, you're so right, dude. Racists are so persecuted in the UK, and it's so sad. Oh my
being
god.
afraid of being replaced or being angry about it, that's a really bad thing. That's terrorism, buddy. That's heckin' bad. And also, schools. This is where they also brainwash the kids. They have pushed video games into classrooms, teaching kids to spot, air quote, radicalization. I've seen this on Asmongold's stream. People ask me in the comments, do you like Asmongold and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah, I didn't watch that
I don't watch him all
video.
the time, but when I do watch him, I like him. I don't mind him. I think he's a funny guy, too. But anyways, he was playing this so-called video game that they push onto kids for spotting radicalization. But what does radicalization actually mean? Is it questioning why your town's full of foreign rapists or why welfare is drained by non-contributors to the system? This game that they give to these kids, it simulates avoiding extremist views like closing the borders,
that's
having
what
strong
happening.
borders like any country ever in history has had,
For
or
sure.
sending back violent criminals. Is this really insane
They
to say
are-
that a country
they're
should do that?
welfare
Isn't that one of the
queens.
purposes of a country in the first place? Kids are being taught to report their uncle or their dad or their friends for thinking the wrong way. British patriots, I'll say it again, man.
That's
I stand
communism.
with you guys. I have a lot of empathy for these British patriots, man. This is straight out of like a dystopian 1984 style novel. Meanwhile, these grooming gangs are still running amok. But if you say that out loud, then you're a bigot. You know what? If saying that makes me a bigot, then I guess the label applies to me because I don't really care what you're going to call me. You're going to hate me anyways, and you're going to call me whatever you're going to call me anyways for having the sane and rational position. If you show stats that show that migrants commit disproportionate crime in the UK, then you're the bad guy. You are the terrorist.
Why is it? No, you're not. No, you're not. What? Nobody talks about black on black crime. That's the American version of this. Okay, look, nobody cares about that shit. Okay, I mean, no leftist cares. If you show black on black crime statistics, immigrant statistics, you know, whatever about crime, immigrant crime statistics, because The problem isn't the existence of the statistics themselves. The problem, and that it like makes us wrong. Okay, the problem is that you use these statistics without context, without nuance, to try and smear immigrants and black people as violent, savage criminals when they're not. These statistics, there are other factors than just the ethnic identity of these people. Okay, like these immigrants that you're talking about that commit all these crimes, they're committing all the crime. Okay, which by the way is, you're blowing it out of proportion. Okay, like proportionally, immigrants don't commit a lot more crime than white people. Okay, but anyway, you are ignoring the pervasive poverty in these communities, which drives crime. In America, they probably have something similar in the UK, but in America, people often ignore over-policing of black communities, which also influences these crime rates. Okay, so that's the problem. The problem is that you're leaving that stuff out, and you're just saying like, oh, like it's because of their genetics, or it's culture. Like you have to talk about these other things. You have to. You can't just leave it out of the conversation because it doesn't fit your narrative. It's fucked up.
We need to send the cops after the guy posting a meme, and we also need to police pronouns. What is going on in the UK? Holy shit. It's all just part of the bigger cultural and societal rot, which is the Great Replacement, which I've said on this channel numerous times. The UK's native white population shrinks yearly. This is just a statistical fact. Mass migration also isn't organic when we look at how it's being pushed with specific NGOs that are pushing for it. It's elite policy to dilute the bloodline and kill the nation and make it easier to control. It's just a simple fact of the matter. This is happening here in America as well. They will say that everything is fine, don't worry about that, you are actually just a harmful heckin' conspiracy theorist. It's like their government is ran by actual Redditors. Meanwhile, their cities are turning into third world hellholes. Same thing here in America, really. Cities just aren't that great anymore. Native British people, Australians, and Americans can't afford homes. They can't get houses because the prices are just absolutely insane. Their jobs are vanishing because they're getting replaced by cheap labor, and these rape gangs in the UK keep roaming around. And
yeah, it's the Polish. It's the Polish, brother. You're so right. You're so white. Oh wait, but Polish people are white. Oh fuck.
Demand the reversal of all this, and rightfully so. Get rid of the invaders, end the migration, and protect our homeland. That is considered terrorism in the UK. If I went to the UK, they would call me a terrorist. The police just embody the clown world. There's two-tier policing. The far-left riots are just hands-off, let them do what they want. BLM statue toppling. Oh, that's okay, whatever. Give them a high five, actually. But if there's a protest for nativists, there is riot gear and tear gas and tasers and the batons and shields, and we need to just beat them and put them in jail. And also fine them so much that you take all their money. It just reminds me of Canada around 2021 when they had all the truck protests in Toronto. They were shutting down their bank accounts. But yeah, Britain is not alone here. It's kind of the same thing in Canada, it's the same thing in Australia, and as well as other European countries. So I will say this, do what you have to do. I'm not in Britain, I'm not British, but patriots have a right to fight back. It is their God-given right to defend their family and their homeland. And I would even say that the Bible backs this. Nations have to be protected. You have to protect your heritage. There is absolutely nothing wrong with doing that. The UK's warriors and their everyday men have to stand against this. If they're jailed for truth, that's insane. That is absolutely insane and tyrannical. As an American, I just see my brothers across the ocean being crushed, and I hate to see it. Our founders bled for liberty, and they came from the UK. Now the UK is betraying this. I stand in solidarity with my British brothers. Globo Homo wants us all neutered and replaced, and I'm just going to resist that, and I'm going to share the truth, and I'm going to mock the tyrants, and I will advocate for building parallel institutions, and I think other people should as well. And as well as what happens in the UK culturally and in Europe when it comes to all these draconian laws and so forth, I think eventually that...
Okay, you keep saying in all your videos you say parallel institutions. What do you mean? What the fuck does that mean? Can you elaborate? Has anybody asked you to? Because I asked you in another video, and I think I asked you in another one before that. Okay, but like, what do you mean by that? What do you mean parallel institutions? Do you mean like the same institutions that we have right now, but more racist? I think there's enough racism in our institutions, bro. I think there's enough.
It's just a matter of time. It seems like
actually, if anything, we could do with less.
And then it eventually follows to America.
A lot
We've seen this in the 2010s with all the mass migration that was happening, and it wasn't as extreme in the U.S., but now it is. I think that eventually these things do follow suit in America, and I'm against that, and I don't want it to happen. So that's why I think it's important that we read and we study these lessons, and we try to help out our British brothers as much as we can. Because patriots going to jail for words is insane, and it's beyond evil. So my words to the British people, the British lads. I don't say lads, but I want to speak to the British people. My words to the lads, hold fast. I'm a Yankee, and I've got you covered. You have my support. This fight is going global, it seems. As an American nationalist, it's America first for me, but that doesn't mean that I'm just putting you on the back burner forever.
Yeah, bro, this gives off, like, This gives, like, Redcoat, like, fuck, who was the traitor? I forgot his fucking name, because he's such a piece of shit. Can't remember, he was in that one NWA song, to the people over here, to the people over there, to the people,